Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today it's another nice day but windy day here in Nebraska. I put new spark plugs in this tractor last week, but it still has a miss to it, and I know there's several other things that I need to do to this ignition system to make it right, so we're just going to keep on going with that. I got new spark plug wires cut. I got those at work. I cut them that way I knew that I would just have the right length and didn't have to worry about ordering a kit and then just hoping they would be right. But a cap, I was going to order one and then I didn't, so then I went to the local parts store and they didn't have one, so I will order one. And then I also want to take the distributor, the top of it apart, and look at the weights inside of here and see if there's springs or anything broken there on those, just to make sure that's working. Then I'm going to recheck the timing again, even though I did it just a couple weeks ago. I figured I better check it, just make sure it is right. And then with these spark plug wires, I was looking at them and they didn't even peel them back and fold them over or anything. So these wires are just arcing into the cap and the spark plug on the spark plug themselves. It's going to be hard for you guys to see it, but they did the same things. I'm thinking my spark plug wires are going to do wonders on this tractor, so let's get going on that. Just before we get started, I just want to remind everybody, on April 26th and 27th, the Sunflower Pioneer Power Association is having a tractor show in Almena, Kansas. If you guys watch Territorial Trading on YouTube, him and a group of guys have been working to get this thing put back together. They've had shows there in the past, they just haven't had one for the last few years. So we're gonna support them a little bit. We're gonna take my 706 down there on the 26th of April. Just gonna go down in the morning, come back in the afternoon. We're not gonna go there for 2 days, but if you guys want some more information, they have Facebook. You can go onto their Facebook and check them out there. Or if you watch Territorial Trading's YouTube, he's been giving some details about it. They're gonna have some demonstrations going on. They're gonna have a steam engine there and stuff. So let's get into today's video. Okay, first things first here, I traced my spark plugs back to what cylinder they go to. Then I drew up a little diagram here on the orientation they were on the distributor cap. That way I can put them back on once I get the new ones put together. So now I'm gonna take the old wires completely off and I'm gonna string the new ones through, and then I'll put the ends on after I get them strung through. Okay, when I was pulling these wires out of the cap, you see how this end looks? It's all white and rusty. Well, I think that could also be part of the issue and why this thing has a miss when it slows down. And you know, if the wire going into the cap looks like that, you know, the inside of the distributor cap probably looks the same in there. So that's definitely why I need to replace this cap. I just don't have one with me today. I might be able to look around and find one here, but I'm definitely going to be ordering one of those. That way it has a new cap. But I'm going to keep tearing into this distributor here. I got to take the points and everything out of it. Take this bottom plate off down in here, then you can see them weights down in there. I don't know if the springs are going to be broken, those weights, or not, but I have a feeling they might be, just based on how when you first start the tractor it'll run okay at idle, and if you speed it up and then slow it down it starts having a miss. So I'm wondering if that timing isn't coming back to where it should be, but we'll get it taken apart and we'll find out. Okay, I got this plate off, and how I said I was going to have to, or how I was going to adjust the timing once I got it put back together. Well, I'm going to have to do that no matter what, because to get this plate out, I had to loosen the distributor up and turn it to get a couple of the screws out. But here's what it looks like down in there. The springs are not broke. I blew it out with some air, and I was messing with it with my screwdriver, and the weights seem to be working like they should, so I put a little penetrating oil on them weights, anything to help it really. So now I'm just gonna put that plate back in there. I'm gonna shine this shaft up a little bit. This is the cam that operates the points in the distributor, makes that, let's see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. That's what makes That's what makes this open and close. That cam rides right there on that brown piece, and then it just opens and closes a little bit, and that's what makes your spark. So I'm gonna get the top of this cleaned up. I might do a little bit on the cam there, but anyways, I'm just gonna put it back together. Then I'm gonna get my spark plug wires cut to length, and I'll get the ends put on. Other thing before I put this back together, on these distributors, if you grab this shaft and you can wiggle it back and forth a whole bunch, there is a bushing kit you can get to rebuild these, and that way it takes that play out of there. Because if that has a bunch of play in it, that when you set your gap for your points and that has a bunch of play in it, well, it won't always stay true to that what you set it to. So that's also a very important thing to look for when you're digging into these distributors. I want to bring up a comment quick that was left on the last video. William said that he loved my relaxed attitude when working on this old stuff, and there's really no point in getting worked up over it, even when something doesn't go right, because it's our hobby. We enjoy doing it, even when something doesn't go right. You just gotta kind of move on and get through it, and the end goal is just to have something nice and neat that maybe not everybody else has, like a 40/20. But and if I was gonna get worked up over it and throw a hissy fit over it, well, maybe I'd work on New Hollands or something. Seems like those guys like to cry about a lot. But anyways, if you get that joke, you get it. If not, maybe it wasn't directed to you. But I got the distributor put back together, kinda. I guess I got the condenser put in here. I got the point put in here. I gotta adjust this. There's a spec in the book. I don't have the book with me, but I'm gonna go grab that quick and I'll tell you what that is, and then I'll set that. And then once I get that done, I'll put the cap on it. And then I'll get my spark plug wires ran. And okay, I got the book here, and it says 18 to 24. So I'm gonna go at 20, and I'm gonna set it there. I'm not sure if it's better to have it smaller or bigger, but maybe somebody that's worked on these a lot more than I have can comment down below and say what is best. Is it better to run it tighter, or is it better to have a bigger gap? Let us know. Okay, so with this, it's pretty easy. You just got to strip this back a little bit, and you just fold this over, and then you stick it in there. It probably doesn't matter which way, but I always do face down, and then you just crimp it in there. And this is the spark plug end, and for the distributor cap end, it has a little tooth in there. It's kind of hard to see, but that just stabs into the wire there, just like so, and then you just crimp that on too. Pretty simple, it doesn't take long, but I'll get all 6 of them done. I'll bring you guys back. Okay, I got all the wires put on. I got my timing light set up here. I got the cover off of the flywheel housing here, so it's really hard to record setting the timing on this thing, but before I turned the distributor, I made a little notch there, so I got it kind of close to where it was. But I'm just gonna run it. The book says run it at wide open throttle and then set it, so that's what I'm gonna do real quick. It won't take me more than 5 minutes, and I'll come back. Okay, I got the timing set. It still has a little bit of a miss at idle, so I went ahead and took the hood off, which should have done this last week when I had the hood off, but never even crossed my mind. And I'm gonna set the valves, because I have never set the valves since I got this tractor running. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna set those, and I'll show you guys once I get the valve cover off the process of doing that. Okay, I got my valve covers off, and for those of you that don't know what you're looking at, so down each one of these bores is the camshaft. The camshaft runs the length of the motor, and down each one of those bores there's a lobe on the camshaft, and as that comes around, there's a lifter down in there. It'll push up on that, and that'll push up on the push rod here, and then this actuates the valve on the other side. So the intake valves and the exhaust valves have different settings, so the book says to set it on top dead center of the number 1, or how can I say this, the top dead center of number 1, on its firing stroke, and then you go through and you set certain ones, and then you spin it 360 degrees, and then you go through and you do the other 6. Some people swear by it, other people don't swear by it, but I've done either way. The other way, I guess, is where you just rotate it until you can feel that this one's off the lobe, and then you adjust it. And then I mean, I've done either way. Both of them seem to work, but I just had better luck on just rotating it and kind of doing each valve one by one. It takes longer, but it seems to work also. So I'm gonna get these adjusted and I'll get back to you guys. Can hear that miss. That's what I've been trying to get out of this idle on this tractor. It seems like once it's off of idle, it runs great, doesn't skip a beat, but at idle, it just has a miss. If you guys have any ideas on what I could try, let me know. I've pretty much gone through all of the ignition system on this tractor. I got new spark plugs in it, got new points and condenser in it, set the gap on the points. I got new wires on it, got a new coil on it. I went through and set the valves. I do need to get a new cap still. I mean, that could be part of it. But if you guys have any ideas, just comment down below. Willing to try anything at this point, honestly. But like I said at the beginning of the video, April 26th, we're going to be down in Almena, Kansas for the Sunflower Pioneer Power Association Tractor Show. We're just going to go down there for the one day. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.